Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now we would like to explain about blocks in teaching. Before we are going to explain that, I would like to introduce our groups. For the first, my name is Nikmatul Jazila.
My name is Lilis Rahmawati.
And my name is Aula Bidayatul Hidayah.
In this session, we have three topics about it. For the first is what is block, and the second is block for teaching, and the third is microblogging for teaching. For the first explanation, what is block will be delivered by Lily.
What is blog? Blog is a very potential tool for communicating ideas and have interaction. Writers can easily interact with readers through blog asynchronously. They can also use blog for networking ideas among related blogs. Kind of blog: WordPress, Blogger, Tumblr, and others. The example of blog: for the first, Tumblr. Tumblr is a place to express yourself and bond over the stuff you love. And the second, Blogger. Blogger is the name for the person who works on the blog. And the third is WordPress. WordPress is a very popular open source app used as a blog engine. Is still there many kind blog in internet. Blog for teaching. Blogging is one way to help students and teachers to communicate in the virtual world. Through blog, they can easily share information, research in the form of picture, videos, audio, and different kind of file types. The future Fable in blog enable teachers to easily deliver materials and listen to their students without worrying about time and distance.
For the first,
For the,
provide.
for the first, and how to use blog for teaching. Uh, the first, provide further segment for students to work on. The second, have students work in small groups to write and post summaries of content conferred in class to build a compendium for content covered over a semester. The third, get students to do their writing segment in the form of blog posts. And the fourth, encourage students to post comments on each other posting. The fifth, use blog for peer learning. And the sixth, use blog for classroom project. And the seventh, teacher can create a specific section just for website links and references to other interesting content online. And the eighth, use activities, games, puzzles to enrich student learning experience, and etc. For the next is a plugin for ELT British Council. The tutor blog is run by the teacher of a class. The content of third type of blog can be limited to syllabus, course information, homework, segment, etc. And the second, the class blog is a shared space with teacher and student being able to write to the main area. It is best used as collaborative discussion space and extracurricular extension of the classroom. And last, the learner blog is the third type of blog, and it requires more time and effort from the teacher to both set up and moderate, but is probably the most rewarding. It involves giving each student an individual blog.
And next is blog as media to facilitate learning and language skills development will be delivered by Aula.
Blog as media to facilitate learning and language skills development. There are three kinds. The first, blogging in language learning communities, is blogs are a way of opening up the classroom walls and showing the wider world what is happening, thus creating a small language learning communities. And the second, blogging a pedagogical perspective. And the third is blog principles in support of blogging activities. It means a principal assumption was that for academic success, the development their computer and language based skill in tandem. And the next, the K of blog. For the first, blog post, and the second, peer reviews, and the third, peer comments on blog posts, and the fourth, blogging groups, and the last, the blogging buddy method. Using blog in classroom, there are six types. The first, post a prompt. The second, the week in review. And the third, respond to a reading. And the fourth, find the facts. And the fifth, critique you aside. And the last, comment on current event. Microblogging for teaching. What is microblogging? Microblogging is a site where people post opinion, activities, links, and images. Since it is a micro blog, then post casual short, which is not more than 140 characters.
And this is the example of microblogging. I think you have maybe one or two. This is the apa social media, right? Like Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and so many others type of microblogging. Why microblogging is gaining more popular? For the first, accessible from various portable devices. Because the students can use the microblogging in their mobile phone or in PC or laptop on computer. And the second is no need for long posts like we do in blog. And the third is easy to do the post or status update because we can just write the status in the microblogging or our social media, then we can post our written and other people will be see our status, right? And the fourth is the subscription feature help instant communication and knowledge sharing because we can share our status so other people we can see and maybe they are can respond or giving a comment in the status. And how we can use microblogs such as Twitter for language teaching and learning. Twitter is 140 character mini blog that answer the question. And the function of Twitter uh, for the first is microblogging tool which combines features of SMS text message and blogs. And the second is allows user to send very short message tweet to each other. Using Twitter is popular nowadays because a lot of people are using include celebrities and new agencies such as CNN which posts new headline with link to the full stories. In February 2009, Twitter had more than 7 million visitors among many teachers and students who use technology work part to sending and receiving the tweets. And the function for language teaching and learning, it is there are maybe several. For the first is reading. We can read the incoming message, and then we can follow some major news organization like BBC, CNN, and etc. Then select tweeted stories to read by students. And the second is for writing skills. We as a teacher, we can ask to the student to leave one tweet question before the beginning or during the lesson. And the second is write the summaries based on reading or listening activities. And the third is start an opening for a story, then the other continue the story in tweets. It is a very interesting, right? And what is the benefits when we use the microblogging? For the first is facilitates active learning, and the second is increase metacognitive works or help the teacher realize what the student think about the lesson. And the third is it gets students thinking critically about the myth or their message. And the fourth is increase the feeling of community among the people. And the next is ideas for using Twitter in language classroom. Why Twitter in the EFL classroom? Twitter is gaining popularity in the language classroom based on Antonos Converti in 2009 and also Dunlap and Lowenthal in 2009 and Stephens in 2008. Why Twitter in the FL classroom? Because it can community building. It also can language practice outside the classroom, and it can be cultural information, and it can avenues for language output and input, and it can be networked with or learn from other teachers. Okay, I think enough for our presentation today. Thank you for your nice attention. If you have a question, you can write down in the below, okay? Okay, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.